Okay, today we are playing a game on Watchpoint Gibraltar. We are in the Silver SR range, and we will be playing Lucio the entire way through. And because we are in the Silver SR range, I don't really care what our team comp is, because below gold, it doesn't really matter much beyond, do you have a tank, do you have a healer? We have both of those things, so that's kind of all that really matters that much. So, they also have a Lucio, and here he comes, and it didn't really work out super well for him, but he did get some sick airtime. He rocked up a real sick combo multiplier off that one, I'm sure. So, man, when they put a skateboard hero in this game, which they inevitably will at some point, you better be able to do Tony Hawk tricks, or I'm just going to be extremely disappointed, honestly. So, Reinhardt's jumped down directly on top of the enemy team, which you do not really want to do on this map. We should also not have done this. I know why we did it, we were trying to save Reinhardt, but Reinhardt did a really stupid thing, and if you're playing a support, right, people have this really fucked up view where they think you're meant to be super altruistic and, like, go out of your way to try and save people as a support. Yes, you should try and save people, but only when it poses no significant risk to you, because you're the most important member on the team as a support. So when Reinhardt does something stupid like that, like jump into 6 people, you just go, not my problem. That fucker, he fucked up, so he gets to die for that one, not my problem. I ain't gonna risk dying to try and save him, so we shouldn't have jumped down there to try and save him. Because that just increased our risk of dying significantly. So team's very spread out, there's very poor rotations happening from the team, because usually what you want to do on Watchpoint Gibraltar, similar on Dorado, you want to stand, you know, up there, standard position up there, and then you shoot at them as they're coming out of their spawn, and then, you know, they're gonna push under you. This is the inevitability of life. It's not really feasible to hold from that position up there. It happens, certainly, you know, and sometimes I play on Dorado and the enemy team doesn't get it to move out of their spawn because we just killed them at the gate, right? But not exactly a common occurrence. So you just go, whatever, no big deal. You should get as much ult charge as you can right there, and then you rotate round here, jump down on this side of the ditch, and then just fight from up here. Because this is just a much easier to defend location than over there is right outside of their spawn. But, you know, people don't like to do things like that. Dorado's the same way. You stand up on the high ground, you shoot down on them, and then you rotate round and jump down on the other side of the archway, and then hold them at the choke point. Because that's what Overwatch is all about. It's all about finding the choke point and then defending that. Payload, for the most part, might as well just be, like, capture points, to be honest with you, because there are only ever a couple of points along the track that are really feasible to defend on. So, yeah, but people don't like to do that. They don't like to see the payload get pushed anywhere, even though, like, you could just let it get pushed a few feet and then defend from a much better location. But hey, you know, if we don't full hold, what's the fucking point, right? Anyway, so, team's starting to regroup now. Finally, thank goodness. Didn't really need to use Amp It Up right there, did we? I don't really like this UI color. I'm having trouble seeing things, but I'm also colorblind, so it's probably mostly my issue. Yeah, these people are like full health. Though, to be fair, Anna did also just throw her grenade at roughly the same time we pushed the button, so we'll cut some slack on that. I was just listening to Hanzo yell that we weren't healing people, basically, even though we just used Amp It Up explicitly to heal people. It's unfortunate we used Amp It Up earlier, when we didn't really need to, because now we don't have it for this situation, but, you know, we used our ability at roughly the same time Anna did, so, you know, it happens, it happens. So, Reinhardt landed a good Earth Shatter. Don't use, the knockback in this kind of situation, because the whole point of Earth Shatter is you stun them, they aren't doing anything, right? So if you come in and then boop them, then you can end up saving them, or just messing up Reinhardt's Earth Shatter. My favorite, and, you know, by my favorite, I actually mean the thing that makes me want to just curl into a ball and die every time it happens, is when I'm playing Reinhardt and there's a Roadhog on my team, and I land an Earth Shatter on, like, 4 people, and then Roadhog goes, perfect time to combo ultimate, so I'm gonna use the Rudy Tooty Whiz Bang Shooty right now, and then you just watch him push all 4 people to safety. And it makes me want to die, I won't lie to you. So, we're kind of having a discussion in the voice chat about using the speed aura, and you know, true enough, when you're playing Lucio, you want to be in the speed aura as much as possible. You want to be in the speed aura and have a reason to change to the healing aura, not the other way around. But people, they see you pick a support, especially in low SR, they see you pick a support and they go, you're meant to be healing. And as soon as they start dying, the first thing that's going to get blamed is the healer. So, like, you do want to be in the speed aura as much as is physically possible. So we use Sound Barrier because the fight was starting. Roadhog's using his ultimate. Sombra hacked him after he was basically done. So that didn't really accomplish too much. And then we get Earth Shattered. If you get Earth Shattered, that is Reinhardt's fault more than anybody else's, because it's his job to stop the Earth Shatter, right? There are other people that can stop Earth Shatter, but it's Reinhardt's job to stop the Earth Shatter. So if you get hit by the other Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, you kind of go, well, you know, you can try and play around it. It was a pretty good rollout. You can try and play around the enemy Reinhardt's Earth Shatter as much as you can, but, like, realistically, if you get Earth Shattered by the other team, it's mostly Reinhardt's fault. So we were in the healing aura more than we needed to be during that previous section, but considering, you know, the fact that we're like 10 seconds into the game and already had an argument with people about this, so I'm kind of expecting us to be in the healing aura more than we need to be in general, because it'd be like, oh, fuck, whatever, I suppose, right? You gotta be real good at just, like, tuning people out in this game. So they had a lot of ultimates to use right there, so they kind of just get to win the checkpoint. We got wiped very soundly. Not much we do to stop that one as Lucio. So we're gonna lose that checkpoint. That's fine. The third checkpoint's one of the hardest ones to attack on Gibraltar anyway, so it's not the end of the world, though most people will interpret it as being the end of the world, because again, if you don't full hold, what's the fucking point, right? So I appreciate the spirit we have in running after this man, and honestly, I just stay and fight him still, because he picked up the small health kit. I'm not that afraid of him, honestly, but Farah, I think, did also arrive to start shooting at us as well. But now we have a Widowmaker, and she actually, despite being in silver, miraculously managed to kill the Farah. So great job, Widowmaker. Great job. So we've almost got Sound Barrier built up again. There's nothing really wrong with just kind of being in the healing aura in this kind of situation where basically we're in the poke stage of the game. Nobody's really doing anything, so you can just stay in the healing aura to, like, heal up any chip damage that's happening. But, you know, you do want to be ready to change into the speed aura as soon as you need to. It's just like, if your team's basically like, this is where we're going to sit for a while, you can be in the healing aura and it's no big deal if you're healing up chip damage as it's coming in. But, you know, speed aura is really the thing with Lucio. You do want to... I'm still just kind of listening to the voice chat, so I keep getting distracted. And you do want to still avoid healing people at full health as much as possible, because if you're doing nothing but healing people at full health, then it's the same as you having your aura turned off, basically. So here, speed... Oh, no, we are in the speed aura. Okay, disregard. I was going to say we should have been in the speed aura to get Reinhardt in there with the nano boost, but we were in the speed aura, so disregard. I'm stupid, actually. But that's not new information to me, and it shouldn't be new information to anybody else by this point. So we have Sound Barrier built up. We're the one with the defensive ultimate on the team, so we basically want to save that for when they're trying to make plays happen. And then, you know, if you see an opportunity to use a Sound Barrier aggressively, great, awesome, go for that. But, you know, when the Genji comes in with Dragon Blade, you can just tell him to fuck off. You don't really want to deal with that right now. Oh, Reinhardt got hacked and he's got Earth Shatter. That's sad. That's sad for him. And now he's dead, and he's not going to get to use that one. It's also harder to use Sound Barrier aggressively when you're in lower SR, because you can't really trust people to actually do things with you. So right here, I want to change into the Speed Aura to run after Genji, because if we can kill Genji right now, which is very easy to do, he's very low health, all we have to do is get close to him and boop him, and he's going to die. He's very low health, so we could get the stagger, and then that makes it easier for us. And we decided to do that, but we decided to do it late. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, that was very exciting, wasn't it? We did decide to do it, but we did it later, and Genji actually managed to get away from us. If you can chase somebody down and finish them off between fights, then you should try to do that, because staggering them is great. I mean, you know, don't fucking go suicidally deep and get killed. You know, you can take it too far in the opposite direction, but staggering people is great. It's free time for your team, basically, you buy. So, if you're playing Lucio and you see somebody really low health trying to scamper away, don't be afraid to just push the turbo button, run after him, and finish that kill off, because getting just even like a couple second stagger on somebody can be the difference between winning and losing. So, our man's nano boosted. We should be on the speed ore to try and get him in there as quickly as possible and make sure that people can't get away from him. Similarly, we shouldn't boop people, because we want them to get hit by Reinhardt right now. So if we're going to be booping anybody, we actually want to boop them into Reinhardt, not away from him. And we should be speeding him up so he can get in there and just clock people with his hammer. So their Lucio's used sound barrier, but basically the fight's kind of already over at this point. Came over here to heal Widowmaker. Got sound barrier built up again. Don't really need to use it right now. Not a whole lot's honestly happening. Like, only a couple of them are still alive at this point. 3 of them it looks like, so... yeah, it just didn't really accomplish very much, and if we're gonna use sound barrier in this situation, where everybody's pretty much full health, again, we want to just immediately throw it into the speed boost so we can, like, get them in there, so that they can use the shield as much as possible. Because if you're using sound barrier to save somebody, yeah, you want to heal them under the shield, but if you're using sound barrier and everyone is pretty healthy still, you want to speed boost them in so that they can, you know, sound barrier doesn't stay around forever, so you want to just get them in there as quickly as possible so that they can try and get the shield to absorb as much damage as possible before it wears off. So we are staying, like, pretty mobile, and we're doing a lot of wall running. And, you know, we're taking advantage of Lucio's mobility for the most part, which is good. Their Reinhardt's also got Earth Shatter, which is scary. We're coming up here for this Widowmaker right now. So, we got her, so that's great, but she doesn't know we're coming. We can slow down for, like, an extra second here and make this way easier on ourselves, because she's got no clue. She's tuned in right now over there. We can just, like, stop right next to her, take a half second to line it up with her head. Tink, 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 tink. Boop, dead. I mean, we get her regardless. You know, if you boop them into the air, you can't really alter your momentum very much when you're in the air, so it makes them go in a fairly predictable arc, but she didn't know we were there. We could have just took the extra half second, lined it up with the head, click, 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 dead. We were also hopping around really low health there for a while, which is scary, but we're playing Lucio and Silver, so they're not, like, super likely to hit us, honestly. So, Roadhog's using the Rudy Tooty Whizbang Shooty. He didn't manage to push anybody off, even though he came pretty close to doing so. So, I'm honestly thinking right now if I would have used Sound Barrier in this situation, because things are kind of sketchy still. No. Maybe once I saw the other critical health person over there, maybe, but no, things are going fine. I might have done in the moment. We decide to do it now. Again, we should be speed boosting these people in, especially because, like, there's not a lot of time left. We really want to win this fight. Everybody's got sound barrier right now. Reinhardt's getting bullied because he just got emped and hacked, which she did that really badly because she emped and then hacked him again basically immediately. Hack is a 6-second crowd control effect, so 6 second. I might have said 6 second. It's sick amount of seconds. So you want to wait as close to the 6 seconds as possible before you re-hack the person, because it doesn't, like, add the 2 times on top of each other. If you hack them, it just refreshes the duration up to 6 seconds, so... She didn't do that very well. She hacked him for, like, 7 seconds, when she could have hacked him for close to 12, right? So, you know, anyway. We want to get them in there, so they can use that barrier. So he's got hammered down, he's unhacked, he's rehacked again. He's had that Earth Shatter for so fucking long, man, and he has just not used it. So, a fair few people on our team are dead now. We didn't have the sound barrier to use. Somebody's decided this is the perfect The perfect time to change to Torbjorn. Yeah. Oh, fucking Diva's APM is out of control, dude. So we've, Reinhardt managed to get back out and use Earth Shatter. They didn't have anything there to block it with. Their Reinhardt's actually gonna be getting back soon, and we know he still has his Earth Shatter. Unless he's decided to change to something else. Nope, there he is. So he has Earth Shatter, that's scary. We want to avoid grouping together as much as possible, unless we can trust our Reinhardt to actually, like, block, which we can't. Because, I mean, we've already seen how that one's gone. Yeah, so we're just kind of, like, hopping around, you know, playing Lucio, trying to stall it out as much as possible. We got a bunch of stalling heroes out here now. Soldier's got Tac Visor. Yep, that's gonna be it right there. Try and speed boost back up, but nope. Oh, nope. I'm still thinking about the fight where we use Sound Barrier, and I'm like, if we had it to use when things started going more badly, the fight might have gone differently, but, like, I might have already used it before that point, to be honest with you, because the fight still looked pretty sketchy most of the way through. Now, I got no problems using an ultimate if I'm not 100% sure we're gonna win the fight. Like, if I know with, like, 90% certainty we're gonna win the fight, then, yeah, you know, I'll hold on to the ult. But if I'm only, like, 50-70% certain I'm gonna win the fight, I'll use my ult just to make sure we win the fight. Especially as the defending team, where you don't really get a lot of leeway. Like, they've only got to win a couple fights and you lose. Now, saying that, one of the easiest ways to throw when you're defending as well is to overcommit a bunch of ultimates to a fight you didn't need to, and then they come back with ult advantage and just roll right over top of you. I don't know. I can see myself using Sound Barrier like 3 different ways in that fight, depending on the day, because I might have already used it, or I might have been super greedy and been like, I don't need to use it now, because we've mostly won the fight by this point. Oh, Reinhardt. Oh, no. Oh! The way he got booped actually saved his life, because the charge didn't go as long as it could have. So we shouldn't be moving forward right now. We're really low health, because we took damage right there. So, we don't want to keep going up to these guys. We actually probably saved Reinhardt right there. Yeah, he's very low. So we ended up, like, pushing him further to safety. This is the thing with Lucio players, like, don't just boop people for the sake of booping them, because it doesn't really do a lot of damage. Like, you know, a lot of Lucios, it'll just run up, like, left-click, punch, boop the person, right? And, I mean, if that kills the person, great, but often it doesn't. Lucio players will just boop for the sake of doing it. And you can really easily end up saving somebody by doing that, because you can boop someone you didn't know was almost dead, because you couldn't see their health bar yet. If, like, say, Soldier or somebody is, like, lining up their Helix rocket, right, to use on somebody, and then suddenly you slide in and you boop them, then you mess up that person's cooldown, and they end up getting saved. You know, there's a bunch of ways booping people for the sake of it can just end up accidentally saving the other person, and you don't want to be the Lucio that's saving people on the enemy team, right? So, like, when you're booping someone, you want to kind of have a reason for doing it, that you're going to boop them out of position, to push them into your team, you're peeling for somebody else, or yourself. You know, you can be booping to peel for yourself as well. Or, like, just like Genji's deflecting in front of you, and you'll kill him if you boop him, because it goes through deflect, you know. But you don't want to boop people just for the sake of doing it, because that, like, it doesn't contribute much. It does a little bit more damage, but it doesn't really contribute much, and, like, the risk is it ends up saving people. So it's just kind of like, you wanna be more cautious with how you decide to do that. So we've come back to Taxi Sombra out here a little bit faster. We do a pretty good job of, like, using Lucio's movement as much as possible, because I'll watch a lot of Lucio players, and they'll just kind of, like, be hanging out on the ground, basically just, like, walking around real slow. I'm like, Lucio's got a lot of, like, really cool movement options. Soldier's using Tac Visor, so we were hiding from him. We didn't need to use Sound Barrier for that fight, so it was good self-discipline to not just use Sound Barrier as soon as we heard the ultimate, which is, you know, Attack visor being one of those things where when you hear it, oh, that sucks. One of being one of those things where you hear it, where you just kind of like slap the button. Same with Dragon Blade, but we didn't need to use it, so good discipline. Yeah, like, it got real wacky real fast, is basically what I'm gonna say. Happens. Now we're not there to sound barrier, and Anna died as well, so it ends up going really badly really quickly. And I mean, if we didn't die, that wouldn't have happened, but things did get pretty wacky pretty quickly, so, you know, shit happens sometimes. Did kind of just boop the person for the sake of booping them again, which we want to avoid doing. So we're waiting to taxi Sombra back. Fair enough. You know, you don't always want to do that, but we've got to regroup anyway right now, and she was a little out of sync with everybody else, so it just gets us synced up a little bit faster. So everybody's splitting up and going a different way. Literally everyone's just going a different way right now. So that's super helpful. Sombra's fucking dead again, so that's also very helpful. That didn't really hit many people, I don't think. Like, it's not the best time to do this because not many people are really in position. Like, there's these two people who are going in. But, like, Sombra's dead right now, so, like, it's already kind of an iffy fight to ult for, but, like, Reinhardt's still going, like, the long way around. So we end up, like, we sound barrier, but the only people who were really in position to do anything with it were two people, and I mean, the fight's gonna work out in our favor regardless, as we can see, so obviously it didn't matter, but, like, just the position we were in when we used it, only two people really got to do anything with the sound barrier, which isn't, like, super efficient use of company resources, because, I mean, all support ults are this way, where you want as many people to benefit from it as possible. I was gonna say except Zenyatta, but that's not the correct way to phrase that. Like, yeah, most support ultimates you'll want to use as early in the fight as possible. So, oh, we do actually play Zenyatta. I lied to you. We got like 2 minutes of Zenyatta in here at the end. My bad. Most supports you want to use your ult as early in the fight as possible, so that as many people can benefit from it as possible and try to get like the full effect out of it. Like, if you're gonna like use Valkyrie, if you're gonna use even like Orissa's Bongo, right? You want to use them as early in the fight as possible so that you can damage boost as many people as possible, and they'll have as many cooldowns as possible to use. The earlier you use it, the more likely you are to combo it with other ultimates, blah, 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 blah. Zenyatta isn't that way because his ultimate is basically entirely defensive, right? Transcendence is a very poor offensive ultimate, so you use it, you still want as many people to benefit from it as possible, but you don't use it early in the fight, because you're waiting to fuck other people's ultimates instead. So we're playing Zenyatta, and already, like, it warms my heart that we've come up here to fight on the high ground, instead of just walking down on the low ground with the peasants. We have now immediately decided to do that, though. My heart was warmed for a little bit there, right, though, because we did actually go to fight from high ground. And Zenyatta, you know, he's one of those heroes that really wants to fight on the high ground, because it's just usually harder to kill you. You've got a wider view of things, which is nice. It's good times, good times. So we should not have been just, like, left-clicking into this dude while he's asleep, because we should have just put Discord on him and then immediately started charging. Which we did start doing, but we took a few shots anyway right in there. So we're probably fucked regardless by this point. What I'm gonna say here first off is, like, the first mistake we make right here is moving way into this person right now. We saw that sleepy boy, and we're like, I gotta get this kill. I gotta get that man. He's fucking dead. So we ran really far up and ahead of our team. And now, like, look how far our team is behind us, right? Like, Zenyatta, you want as many people on your team between you and the enemy team as possible. We're literally the front line right now. We're in front of everybody else. They're fighting over here right now. So, we just went, like, way too far up. Secondly, though, we don't path well for this, because Moira's using Coalescence. She's definitely going to kill us because we're a slow boy. There's no way we run back over there. So we've already made the mistake by being this far up by ourselves, but we could run behind the pillar that's behind us right now and hide behind that so that she doesn't just, like, try and, like, murder us with Coalescence, and maybe we get around it. And now we're going to change back to Lucio. There you go. But, like, by that point, we'd already made the mistake, so, you know, step one, just don't go that far up anyway. But if we're in that position, we could have gone behind the pillar to block line of sight to Coalescence, and then maybe things go a little bit better. But probably not, because we're already pretty deep by that point. So, I thought that was our Reinhardt on the other side of the wall for some reason, but no, that was Infrasight. So we've just heard Junkrat start using the tire, so we're going to back out and scatter as much as possible. I didn't hear it go off, but it must have gone off by now. So Reinhardt used... Oh, fuck, we just lost both DPS right as this happened, so that sucks. Reinhardt did manage to land his Earth Shatter, but both our DPS were apparently up there. Like, the Super Shimada brothers were up to no good together, apparently, and got killed in unison, so... Even though Reinhardt landed the ultimate, both our DPS weren't there, so the people who most benefit from the enemy being immobile were not there to capitalize on it. So, our team's trying real hard to go through this doorway, but at this point it would be easier to go through the doorway on the left, or go through the high ground and jump down on them, but, like, good luck getting your team to do something like that, right? Especially in Silver SR. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. By this point, I'm basically like, we're done. Even though we got two, like, pretty good ultimates ready to go, like, just the way we're all posturing outside the hangar door, I'm like, it's not gonna happen. And then we got Earth Shattered. Life is hard. Life is hard. We see play of the game? We see play of the game. Who would've got play of the game? Maybe Genji? No, it was Reinhardt. Oh, no, Reinhardt got, like, a triple or a quad in that one Earth Shatter, didn't he? This isn't even the Earth Shatter I'm thinking of. Because I was thinking of an Earth Shatter on the third checkpoint. He still got 3 people over here, I guess, so, whatever. Maybe I'm stupid. I'm definitely stupid, actually. We already talked about this. Well, that's such a bad Mercy skin. I hate it. I hate that skin. So what we got here? What we got today? I do follow Jim Sterling. We got a lot of things today, don't we? Ranking all final smashes in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. All right. Jane's good. Good man. Much smarter than me. I do follow Game Grumps. What's this? Vladimir Putin's rise to power. Full documentary. Now, I don't know where it's gotten this from, but that's actually the kind of thing I would watch. So good job, algorithm. You figured that one out pretty good. Do watch speedruns. Do follow Northern Lime. Was Oblivion as good as I remember? No, it was awful. It was not a good game. But I don't like many Bethesda games except for Fallout. And they fucked that one up as well, didn't they? They fucked that one up. Toxic kid starts crying when being raided. Rust. So I hate all survival games. So that's not good. Jane's still good. Overwatch Pro. How to dominate with Lucio. Astro 1000 plus games as Lucio. Alright. Hey, it found one. It found one, like, good one to put in there. That's above average as far as the algorithm goes. So, do I have anything overarching to say about that game? Not really. The biggest one is probably just, like, be more cautious with how you boop people, because you can end up saving people. Like overall, that was a lot better than I would expect your average Silver Lucio player to be, because they, it's like where you'll watch the Lucio just walking around in healing aura, constantly healing no people, and just, like, walking around real slow, not doing anything vaguely Lucio, right? Like, or you'll see people on the exact opposite end of the spectrum who are just, like, Let's go! Jumping into the enemy spawn right out the gate, because they went and they've watched 1,000 rollout videos, and they sit in the practice range just doing it all day. So they just get there immediately, just to get clapped as soon as they possibly can. Yeah, the booping's probably the biggest thing I got. Other than that, like, honestly, way better than your average Silver Lucio player. So, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. And I hope you found the video helpful.